Hello everyone, this is T-Man. So what I'm going to be showing you guys today is how I create my own recipe. Now, my recipe requires just a few things. It requires cheese. I'm choosing to use the Mexican style shredded cheese. And you can use any type of sauce if you want, but for me, I'm choosing to use marinara pasta sauce because it's smooth and I'm not using, salsa like the freshly made, because obviously my recipe would not taste good if I added salsa to it. So, what I'm gonna do is this is gonna be cut. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is where I cut the meat. I did that with a few other ones right before I decided to make this video. See? Two of the meats. And I put them on here, onto the pan. See? Those are just the cut up meats. And there's about 4 sausages cut into 2 halves. So, yeah, that's what it looks like right now. So what I'm going to do now, since I'm done with that, is I'm going to add the sauce. My recipe, man, I really hate it when these things have to fight with me. Anyway, what I'm going to show you right now is just what I'm going to do when it comes to preparing the recipe. Alright, so you clearly saw what I'm trying to do for the beginning part. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab a spoon and I'm going to put an even coat of sauce onto each of these sausages in this. Here you go. I know you only got to see me, cut one sausage. Well, that's because I didn't want to get non-stop cuts of sausages into the video. One sausage getting cut in a video is perfect for keeping part of the video short. Okay, so that sausage is covered. Now I just gotta do the same thing to the other sausages. And I'm not gonna add too much for this. I just want to add enough to where the bottom coat for the flat part of the sausage is completely covered. Just the bottom flat part needs to be covered in the sauce. The point I'm trying to make with this recipe is that I don't add too much sauce unless it's to cover the current part. See, I added just a smidge right there. See, those 3 look good. Now I just got to do the last 5 with the same even coat. I know my hand keeps on turning the camera away from the finished product, or if the product's gonna be done before I'm just putting one hand to hold the camera so that it records me putting this together. Alright, so 4 of those sausages got covered, which I'm still working on evenly coating out these right here, because part of my recipe is you have to put a nice even coat of the sauce right over the flat part of the sausage that was cut in half when it was full. Okay? So what I'm doing right now is I'm evenly coating the sausages and I'm making sure that I put a nice even coat on these, because without an even coat it's just going to look half done with being prepared. Now the one part of this that I'm not going to do is show you exactly me putting it in the oven. And yes, I am making my recipe for not just me to try, but I'm also doing it for my mom to try. I'm sorry that my hands are shaky, but I don't... Yeah, that's the oven. It's telling me it's ready to go. Okay. And yes, when my shaking happens, that usually means that the camera kind of gets off course to what I'm trying to show you guys. But whenever I notice it's getting off track or off course in this matter, I try to course correct or just fix the issue. Alright, so that's what it looks like right now. I'll show you right now before I deal with the other part. Okay, that's what it looks like when you've cut the sausages in half. You've had tin foil on the, aluminum foil, not tin foil, on the inside of the baking sheet. And this is what it looks like after you've both cut the sausages in half and have, put the sauce on. So what I'm going to do for you guys right now, well, before I do anything else, I've got to clean up a mess real quick. And, yeah, there was a lot of sauce being used for this, but that's because these sausages are bigger than the sausages that I usually use to make this recipe. Alright, now the last step for the preparations that I need to do is add the cheese. I don't need to cut the bag open because it's got that Ziploc feature on it. And I do this because it kind of bundles up into a ball, almost. So, you just saw what this looks like before. Well, I'm gonna show you guys with the help of the light. I should have done before I even started this video. But anyway, and I just sprinkle the cheese on it. You need to make sure that when you're sprinkling cheese onto this recipe that you get the enough cheese for the beginning part, which is to just pile it on there. See, there is still a little bit of the part showing, you know, of the sauce showing on this thing, but I'm not gonna worry with that. What I am going to worry with is making this recipe for you guys to see. And before I even, you know, get it done, it's gonna look really, really good by the time it's like completely done. See, that's 4 of them right now, which means there's 8 slices. So I'm not saying that there's gonna be enough slices for just me, because what I'm planning to do is inviting my aunt over, my cousin, and me and my mom, my cousin, and my aunt are going to indulge ourselves into this. But I wanted to show you guys the way I prepare it before I cook it. And then I'll show you guys a video on the finished product after. Well, you guys already seen the videos I made on what the recipe looks like when it's finished being prepared and before it gets thrown in the oven. Not literally thrown, but you know what I mean. Okay, and I basically am just putting some cheese on these slices since they've been cut in half and the sauce is already on them. Now all I need is the cheese. Yeah, I'm looking at my recipe and it looks fucking good, man. It looks really, really good. That's what it kind of looks like right now, but it'll look way, way better when it's done being cooked.